never thought I'd find myself caught in something so forbidden, so dangerous. It was supposed to be just another weekend getaway with my best friend, her brother, Alex. I always thought of him as off-limits. He was her older brother, tall and lined with a quiet charm that made him seem untouchable. More than that, he'd gone through a messy divorce, and I remembered my first impression, calm, reserved, a little distant. And I was just a woman in her mid-30s, married to a good man, living a life rooted in stability and routine. My marriage was comfortable, settled, predictable, the kind of life I'd built carefully over the years. My career was full of purpose, and I cherished my friendship with my best friend, Emily. We had shared everything, our dreams, our struggles, our secrets. But I always kept Alex at arm's length, conscious of the boundaries and the fact that he was her family. That weekend, though, everything changed when he and I found ourselves alone in the sprawling cabin we rented, away from the noise of the city, away from everyone else. We'd been sitting by the fire, talking softly about everything and nothing, his voice low, soothing, the scent of wood smoke swirling around us. It was so easy to be pulled into that quiet world with him, until his hand brushed mine unexpectedly, just for a second. But that second felt like a spark igniting a long-buried flame. I froze, my heart pounding like a drum inside my chest. His eyes flickered to mine, searching, and suddenly I was painfully aware of the way he looked at me, like he saw things no one else had ever looked at me. That night, just past midnight, I saw his text. "I can't keep lying to you. I've been with her for months." I read it over and over, feeling the taste of betrayal sour on my tongue. My stomach clenched tight. How could I not have seen it coming? We were speaking again, but the distance between us was icy now. The weekend that was supposed to be lighthearted and carefree became strange and tense. Every glance, every stolen moment slipped into something darker. We were both painfully aware of what was happening, an electric current that neither of us dared to acknowledge. When I returned home, the walls of my house echoed with emptiness, and I felt hollow. Like a ghost moving through familiar rooms that no longer felt like mine. My mind raced with jealousy, rage, and confusion. I kept seeing that moment of connection, his hand reaching out, or was it mine? And the feeling that we'd crossed a line from which there was no return. One night, I found myself sitting alone, clutching a glass of wine, when the doorbell rang unexpectedly. There stood Marcus, my tenant, a younger man I'd hired to help with some renovations, kind, quiet-eyed, with an intensity that made my nerves hum. He looked uncomfortable, but there was something in his gaze that told me he'd seen everything. I invited him in, and as he helped me clear the table, I felt that forbidden spark again. The way his fingers brushed mine as he handed me a cloth. It was reckless, dangerous, and I knew I shouldn't feel this way, but I couldn't help it. As days passed, I found myself more drawn to Marcus, his steady presence, the way he understood my pain, the subtle ways he showed concern. We'd talk more, about everything and nothing, nothing inappropriate, never explicitly, but the unspoken tension simmered just beneath the surface. I caught myself longing for his touch, craving the comfort he offered, even as my mind screamed at me to stop. That's when I realized that my feelings for him had grown into something more, something forbidden, but too compelling to ignore. And just as I was beginning to accept it as inevitable, Emily's brother, Alex, returned unexpectedly. He knocked on my door one evening, face shadowed and tense, revealing that he'd come back to try to make things right, to reconnect, to find some semblance of peace. But I knew, deep down, that I was now tangled in a web of impossible longing. I felt trapped between the duty I owed my marriage, my loyalty to Emily, and the undeniable pull toward Alex and Marcus. If this confession has you on the edge of your seat, hit like and share, because you will not believe what happens next. That night, as the air thickened with unspoken desires, I found myself at a crossroads. The emotions were a whirlwind. Guilt, temptation, hope, clashing inside me like storm clouds ready to burst. My heart, battered and raw, urged me to take a leap, to embrace what I'd always secretly yearned for, but had never dared admit. Because sometimes the greatest courage lies in loving despite the odds. In risking everything for one moment of truth. With Alex back in my life, I saw the possibilities shimmer before me, dangerous and exhilarating. I could give in to the forbidden, find solace in the arms of the man I was supposed to keep at bay. Or I could retreat into my old world, safe and predictable, and bury these feelings deep where they wouldn't threaten everything I'd built. But deep inside, I knew I wouldn't. I was tired of hiding. I was tired of pretending. And I was ready to face whatever consequences came with this forbidden love, a love that had found me unexpectedly and refused to let go. Sometimes life gives us a second chance, and I was determined to see where this reckless path might lead. Because sometimes love is worth every risk. And maybe, just maybe, I was finally brave enough to find my happiness, no matter how forbidden it was. If you crave more raw emotional confessions, please like, share, and subscribe. Your next chapter awaits.